Do you feel like an imposter sometimes? Like as if you're faking it, as if it's not, you shouldn't really be doing something?
As if you don't deserve that success because it's like you didn't really...
Earn it, I suppose.
Yeah, earn it, yeah.
That's what we're going to be talking about in this week's episode of
Get Real with the English Sisters.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome. Yeah.
Thank you for all your support. You can now text the show. The link is in the description. And also you can vote for us for the Women in Podcasting Awards.
Yay.
So that'll be all up as well. Thank you so much.
Okay, yes, let's see.
I mean, I think quite a lot of people do suffer from imposter syndrome. It's quite a common, we come across it a lot, don't we?
Well, apparently, yeah. It was published in one of the Psychology Today magazines that 82% of the American population, mostly women.
It's funny that it's mostly women,
yeah,
were
affected by this imposter syndrome. Yeah, mostly women.
That's not really fair, is it?
No, not really. It's not fair at all, but it's just the way I think that this is in the workplace. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot to say that.
But do you think it's because we're like so multitasking that we feel as if like we've got our hands in so many different pots that when it comes to one particular thing, we feel as if we're not actually adequate in it? Do you think it could be something to do with that? Because we're so good at so many things, women.
Well, I don't know. I mean, men are good at so many things as well. It's not like I want to make that kind of distinction, but...
No, but in general, women do have more of a workload, don't we? In general. If we're generalising.
Yes, but this was for the workplace. So I don't know if they have more in general in the workplace as well.
I think they do.
Normally they do, yeah. But I'm thinking, if I want to be honest, I do think it is like that.
Yeah, let's not be silly now.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So probably, yes. I don't know if that causes imposter syndrome or why, but the women do seem to be more... Men as also as well. I mean, this goes on, everybody can have... bouts of it, to say as well. There may be sometimes in your life when you feel more of an imposter as to other times,
But do you think it's because men get like more praise, or they have more is...
They already come from a
birth.
More... Yes.
It's like a birthright.
Yes.
They have more. They have less expectations put on them in some ways and more in other ways. But in general, they're just men.
Yes.
And women are inferior kind of thing.
Gosh, yeah.
I
don't know. Yeah, that's a tricky one, but... definitely we don't think that, but
we definitely do not think that. If anything, we think the opposite.
The opposite, which is not really fair either.
No,
but yeah, because
we do so much more. And let's be honest.
Yeah, so yeah, let's be honest. We do, yeah. We do a lot more. So...
I mean, if you just think about all the mental workload that we have at home as well compared to men. Yes, men help out, but who organises them? Who manages it? A lot of the times it's the women that have to manage the workload at home as well.
Yeah, that's odd.
Because it's not just... I think it's not... The thing is, it's just not doing... Yeah, it's not just doing the work. Like, it's not just hoovering or like vacuuming. It's... Oh, I have to... Oh, look, this is dirty. I have to go and vacuum today. Whereas you might delegate it to your husband. You might say, oh, look, darling, can you go and vacuum the carpet? But you have to say, you have to manage it. You have to be the manager of it.
Yes.
So all that mental stress and load is on you.
Still today.
Still today. They say still today 80% is on women.
I know. It's shocking. It's like what we were saying this morning. We went we were at a shopping centre, weren't we? And we saw a lady. She entered the ladies' toilet with the baby.
Yeah.
To change her baby's nappy. And we thought, surely, that it kind of looks old-fashioned.
Well, her husband or partner was outside and he was trying to come in.
He wanted to help.
He wanted to help and wait till, other ladies came out.
But he couldn't.
And she was having to try and... he actually had gone in and come out when we saw us coming in.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
But, those things like that...
we said that shouldn't be. It should have been, the changing room should have been in a neutral space or in both.
For both.
They should have had it in both men and women's.
But if you want to go in together to help out, like, hand me the nappy, help me out, like
and
this,
then in the neutral, it should have been in the neutral space. There was another area that was dedicated to the disabled toilets, wasn't there?
Yeah, but in general, you're right. Still, a lot of the load is on the females,
there are some men that do everything, and you see that the females, the women don't do anything. The women don't do anything.
To be,
You just said female.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Because it's female toilets, that's right.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. But anyway, I mean, the imposter syndrome can affect anybody.
Yeah, it does.
But it does seem to... be more the women. They feel more insecure, I think, and it could be a lot with the way you're brought up. If you're a man and you're like what you say, you do get more praise.
Yeah, more praise, and you're like you. I think other men respect you more as well.
Yes.
A lot of men put women down. So you
could have a male boss, and he could be like, "Oh, well done, Kevin." And then, oh, yeah, not too bad then, Jane. Like, for example, and you think the fact that you got a not too bad and he gets a well done, why is yours not too bad? What happened there? What kind of language is this? Or well done, pet, things like that. Yeah. All these are kind of...
love.
Yes, exactly. But it's kind of a different kind of admiration. I don't know why we're going down this route. I mean, this is not the way I planned this. This has gone
these are always organic conversations,
yes, I don't know why I'm thinking about things like that. But maybe because I'm thinking this is what makes women feel as if they're
it doesn't give them that confidence from an early start.
Yes.
It already starts in the classroom.
Yes, it does start. Oh, you're right, in the classroom. Yeah. Yes, absolutely, it starts.
Where you have the good lad or good...
I don't know what you have, but yes.
The girls, they tend to be, oh, isn't she cute?
Yeah, well, here in Italy, it is very much like that still today.
And in England.
And in UK as well. Yeah. It's still very much, oh, che bella, tesoro, like the girl is bella. That was shocking to me when I first came over. I thought, gosh, they place so much importance on the bella, bello. Okay, I know they're a culture that love beauty in all of its different forms and, art and everything. And you can see Italy is a beautiful country, but I wouldn't think they'd be so obsessed with like beauty in the sense for humans as well. Like if a human comes out beautiful, turns out to be beautiful as they expect it to be, they're almost like, like a god or a goddess, she's beautiful, that's it. That's her job in life. Do you know what I mean? Like,
really beautiful.
Don't worry about it. Oh, you've got a beautiful kid. What's a worry? Males as well, boys as well. Bello, he looks like a statue. Oh, che bello, che bello. All right, è bello, but we've got to think about other things here. No, this is true. Do you remember how surprised I was?
I know it's
compared
true.
To the UK, it was massive when I first came.
It's a big difference.
For what is this culture? Everyone is so. They really do focus on it a lot.
Yeah, it's like it's ingrained. It's ingrained, but it's also like it's an asset. Massive asset.
It's massive. I remember once when I had my little boys, and there was another two parents, and they were saying something. Oh, she's terrible, like talking about their little daughter. She's so naughty. Oh, she's so undisciplined, but she's so beautiful. What can we do? And I thought, okay, she's beautiful, but
she still needs discipline.
She needs to be helped. What's she going to do? Be beautiful I thought in my head, I couldn't really sort of verbalize it at the time. It caught me so much by surprise that I thought, surely this can't be her. Like, whereas you could see, like, this is very, very much an Italian thing, I think. I don't know if the French are the same.
Probably.
With beauty, I would imagine maybe, yes. But if beautiful, but what if you're not beautiful according to them?
Well, then you're unlucky.
Then you're unlucky. Yeah.
No, but then you have to have all the talents.
That's it.
Intelligence.
Yeah. Yes. Then you must be some kind of an intelligence. So even in the workplace, if a woman is considered beautiful by what...
Well, she can't be intelligent then, can she here?
They're very surprised.
And they don't particularly like it either, let's face it. Brains and beauty. It's a bit too much, isn't it? You have to be kind of quiet.
I think so. I mean, I'm still shocked, honestly. I didn't want this podcast to be about this, but honestly, the other day, I just think
we are the imposter syndrome comes from this.
We're in 2024.
It's the way we're treated. It's the way women are treated.
We're still treated today, honestly. On the television, my husband watches this program. It's supposed to be like a comedy thing. And it's very, very well known in Italy. There are these two young ladies, young girls, that come on to this little platform and they prance around half naked. The more glutes are on show, the better it is. And the camera will focus right into the glutes, honestly. And these girls... Then afterwards somebody says, oh, and here are our showgirls, blah, blah. And they present them. They present their names. They do this little prance, like on top of this little box thing. And then afterwards, they have no mic, these girls. So they just like mute. Honestly, it's creepy. And they just smile and they nod and yeah. But you can't hear because they've got no mic on them. And that is done on purpose. They do not have a voice. So
yeah, it's horrible, terrible.
I was creeped out by that. And then when I said it to my husband, he goes, I didn't notice it. I go, come on, the girls that are on that. He goes, yeah, they've always been there though. I go, don't you think it's odd that we're in 2024? There are still girls up there prancing around and the camera is focusing on their glutes. Come on.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
It's very humiliating.
So humiliating. What kind of message are we sending out? Even if you don't want to say, we're not consciously saying it, unconsciously, what kind of message are we still sending out to the world if these programs are still broadcasted on national television? I mean, in this country, I can't speak for England at the moment because I don't know. I don't think this is still going on today, and we are.
And this is a bit different to say whether if an artist or a song wants to expose part of their bodies.
No, this is
because
different.
It's like artistic creation, and everyone's free to be able to do what they want. But it's the fact that these women don't have a voice.
No, and that you can hear. You can if you ask some small Italian little girls, what do you want to be when you grow up? I've heard them say, I want to be a Velina, which is the translation of like this showgirl. And she is typically put up on these, just to be gawked at, basically. And what is her job? To be bella. And that's it. To be bella. And really nobody's interested in her being anything else but bella. She has to be bella and quiet. Like what you
dance.
Well, if she dances, that's fantastic, yes.
Don't these girls dance?
They do dance, yeah. They do their little... They do, yes. They're dancers. They have a few little dances, yes. And that's it. And, so that's still going on today. So, there you go. I mean, this is quite nuts.
Do you think this is where imposter syndrome comes from? This kind of general culture, this like silence around us that is just still accepted. It's so even in film and television, yes. The way women are portrayed is still so much like that, as sex objects, sexual beings, are beautiful beings.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
And we're marketed to to conform
Unfortunately,
to that.
yes, I think we still are today. It's getting better. You know, there's more awareness, but it should have never really existed in the first place.
No.
It's just something that is, and yes, and I think the more women are aware of it, you might want to ask yourself, am I just suffering from imposter syndrome because of, you know, the culture that's been formed around me, or do I have to really work on my own? Because it's not just you. It's not like you think, oh, I've got low self-esteem. Maybe there are other issues around here.
Well, yeah,
you know, this is why.
Because it's because sometimes you could be like you could be like a doctor or anything, and you could be perfectly satisfied with where you are, and then you can move position, you can go to a different hospital, and you can feel that you have imposter syndrome.
That can happen when you change.
Yeah, when you change.
Yeah.
Because you might feel you're not adequate, but you also have to look around who's managing you. You know, who's in charge? What are they doing to make you feel welcome, to make you feel as if you're doing your job? You know, what the culture is. Or are people around you always putting you down or putting you into trick or trying to laugh at you? Because some people actually take great enjoyment of just having a laugh.
I've never understood that culture, like with the
they'll
newbies.
Put you into difficulties.
Yeah, when somebody new arrives, they'll have a laugh. It's like that culture at the university when the new people arrive and new students,
the hazing and all that.
Yeah. When I used to work in Alitalia as well, it was when you were new, you were an allievo or the other older.
You were treated badly on
terribly
purpose.
on purpose. I mean, I used to think, what is this? A military? Very similar.
Yeah.
But they would you would be. They weren't pranks.
They would put you down on purpose.
Absolutely.
To show you your place.
Yeah.
So that you would conform.
Yeah. It's like, gosh, yeah.
It sounds terrible.
Well, so that you would do their... I mean, they used to just literally take advantage of us.
Yeah, they take
I just remember,
work.
they would just sit down and smoke a cigarette in the galley while I was doing all their work, and they would just say, look, hey, that's your job. You're
a newbie.
A newbie, yeah, you go and do it. And I think, gosh, this is it. This is how we're treated.
Yeah, I hope things are a bit different.
Probably, yeah. I mean, that I'm talking about 20 years ago. But in a lot of new jobs, because it reminded me, because you say you're laughed at. Because I even fell down the stairs.
Did laugh. They did laugh.
They laughed at me.
Yeah, they think it's funny.
My first flight, I went to Nairobi. And I got out when the plane, when the stairs come down, I actually slipped on one of those, and it was a big 747, and I slipped and I really hurt my knee. But I tried to pretend I hadn't hurt my knee because I didn't want them to think, oh, look, here she is, the newbie. She's pathetic. Look at her. She can't even walk down the stairs properly. And so I hobbled onto the bus saying, no, I'm fine. And then there was a whole group of people, especially the responsible, person who was in charge of it, just laughing and then other ones saying, pathetic, these new girls, they're pathetic. Gosh. I just remember going into my hotel and I just started crying, thinking, God, my knee was killing me. And I was thinking, what a horrible job I've got myself into. Yeah. Plus the feeling like an imposter
because it was all new to you.
It was completely new, and I felt like I couldn't do it properly, so the big imposter syndrome coming along as well.
Because it's often like that when you're starting something new as well. You do feel like, because you're still kind of in training.
You're very much in training.
But people, you might feel yourself that you're expected to be fully
really
qualified.
competent,
but you always have to remember you're a trainee, and as trainees you're allowed to
have that time. I think afterwards it got better, in the companies. I don't want to say,
No.
And then it definitely got better with the years, but at the beginning it used to be like that for a lot of us. And a lot of other things going on as well.
So how do we get rid of this imposter syndrome if we have it? Just believe in yourself and don't believe in what other people are telling you about.
You have to be strong-minded, that's for sure. And you have to realise if you're in a new position, allow yourself some leeway, allow yourself to make mistakes. Just think, I'm new at this is a new position, and I've got to be kind to myself.
Yeah.
Just be kind. Don't expect yourself. Don't expect you to be the same as the other colleagues that can do it all perfectly because they've been doing it for years.
Yeah, and I think if you feel uncomfortable as well, you should go and talk to the person in charge as well, shouldn't you? And say, I'm actually feeling uncomfortable.
If you can, definitely, yes. If you can, and you do have somebody that.
And also, I think impose what you want to do, because you have to remember that when you work somewhere, they're not just doing you a favour.
No, they're not doing you a favour. You're an asset to them.
You're an asset to them,
yes.
And you're valuable to that company.
You're super valuable. So otherwise, you wouldn't have been employed.
You like they can't treat you badly. They shouldn't.
They shouldn't.
You shouldn't be able. You shouldn't put up with that. You should command respect.
Yes, you have to be clever at commanding respect. Yes, absolutely.
Obviously, be polite and everything.
Yes.
But say it in a nice, polite way. But say if something's making you feel uncomfortable, or if you're out of your depth, so I'm not quite ready to do that yet. Can you come along and help me with it?
Yes, I'm still in training.
Yeah, or even if you're very experienced, because you know that it happens to really experienced people as well that have been doing something for years and years.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
and then maybe something new comes in, like a new computer program,
and they suddenly feel vulnerable because you freak out and you think, oh gosh, I can't do this. And then maybe somebody that's really techie comes along and they do it all in 5 minutes, easy. There you go, and you think, why can't I do that so fast?
Yeah.
What's wrong with me? And, then I shouldn't be here sort of thing. Yeah. Gosh, you get all these fears. No, there's nothing wrong with you. You just haven't learned how to master it yet.
Yes, exactly.
And you might need a little bit more time than someone else, but who cares? You'll get there in the end. You'll do it. You've done things like this before in your life. We've all done it. You'll get there in the end. You just might, who cares if you need a little bit more time? Be kind to yourself.
I think that's the important point. Yeah, be kind, and don't believe you're imposter unless you really are one, like in the film. Fly with me or something?
Yeah.
Famous film where he pretends to be
he was so good at
everything else.
He was even flying.
Was it Brad Pitt? I think. Yeah, I think it was Brad Pitt.
Yes, I think so. Super famous.
That famous film. Yeah. So unless you're like that, where you really are making it, and we have had real stories about things like that, but
oh my God, in our lives we have had. I mean, let's just put it out there. We had a gynecologist who was not a gynecologist. I mean, that was so creepy. Finally, he did get arrested, but it was,
and he got prison.
He got arrested. He got put to prison, but that was, I mean...
And he delivered. This is sounding like closet confessions. He delivered our baby.
He did. He delivered my first son. I mean...
And my son.
Oh my God. This is hilarious. Oh my God.
But he was not qualified, and he pretended to be qualified, and he got away with it, I think, because he had some studies.
And you know what? I was annoyed because there was part of me, my intuition
said something was not quite right.
Yes, because I had to go through fertility treatment, and it was really intense for like 5 to 6 years. I think it was about 6 years, yeah. And that was so intense, and he was the one doing fertility treatment. I mean, come on. He was that person, telling me, oh, we have to get the gametes here, and we have to... Look, this is what the biologist has done. They've mixed them.
And he had all the rights.
He had all the language. He had the studio, like it was...
The language, everything.
He had everything.
He conned everyone, really.
Conned everybody, yeah. Everybody. I mean,
total con artist.
Total.
And then he deserved to have the label imposter, because he really was an
imposter.
He really
was an imposter. I mean, he almost, when I got pregnant again with a second baby, and then he literally almost killed that baby.
Oh, yeah.
It was terrible. Yeah. He said what did he say I needed?
He said he needed amniotic fluid.
Yeah. And he got this big long needle. I mean, This sounds like you think, what a life of these two had.
It just does happen. So check your doctors out.
But nowadays you would go on internet and say, let me see, who is this guy? Who is he? But in those days, all like the reference was, he's treated a footballer's wife. He's treated so-and-so. And so my husband came along to me one day and he said, I've got a guy, he speaks English. I think you'll really relate to him. Yeah. He's a top doctor. He's come and he's bought a car off me. I think he's a real great connection. Let's meet up. And I thought, wow, amazing. And then he came along saying, I'm Australian. I've got all these brilliant new technologies.
He had it all.
I mean, I don't even care if people find out who he is.
No, but he had it all. And
he had it all and we believed it. Even though my instinct, when he did that final thing, when he said, you need more amniotic fluid.
There we were suspicious.
There I thought, come on, what are you doing? I feel perfectly fine. The baby seems to be fine. Why? And he practically induces premature birth with giving me that thing. Then afterwards, when I was finally taken into hospital because I started getting contractions, blah, 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 everyone said, who did this to you? Yeah. And when I gave his name, who is he? Where is he? Yeah. Give me his And then he disappeared and he flew off to Australia. Incredible. So that is a real imposter.
Yes, it's a real.
That's a story.
That's the imposter story.
That is our imposter story, and we certainly do have them. But yes,
that's not imposter syndrome. That's a real.
No, I don't know what kind of syndrome he had. Honestly,
delusional.
Yes, totally
delusional that he could. I think in his heart of heart, he probably did really want to help. That's all I can hope for.
Yes, one can hope for that he had good intentions.
So we don't have any...
so we don't have... And thank goodness everything was okay and, my son turned out all right. But he was born at the end of the 6 months, which he could have easily gone through and had... I'm sure of it. If I had said no, to my instincts and just got up and gone away. So that's something. If anything, we can teach you for this. If your instincts are telling you something... I say listen to them.
Listen.
99%
listen.
You're right.
So you don't have imposter syndrome, but other people around you could have real imposter syndrome.
They could be imposters.
They could be real imposters, so watch out.
Yeah. And you get rid of your imposter syndrome because you're genuine.
Because you're not. I think
you're brilliant.
I think the conclusion is if you believe to have imposter syndrome, that means you're not an imposter.
That means you're authentic, genuine, and
you
a pure
really
person.
care about what you're doing.
Exactly.
And you're more valid than anyone else.
Exactly. And if you don't have it, then you could be an imposter. Let's put it that way. But get rid of it.
Okay. All right then. Well, okay. Do come and see us on YouTube. Come and say hi, text the show and tell us what you feel. And and vote for us in our Women in Podcasting Awards.
Absolutely.
We've been nominated. Get real with the English sisters. And bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.